All right. Well, we have a dedicated few, but probably enough to go ahead and get started. Rao, are you ready?
Yes, I am. Welcome to Community Update 165. I believe that is the correct number. So we have significant news to share today on block merge. Today is the promised block merge delivery date. So right now, the mainnet is running 0.10.2, or should be running. I think Gurinder is in the process of updating that. Last week, it was running 0.10.1. Tomislav worked on a memory leak fix that's now part of the 0.10.2. And other than that, functionality is the same as 0.10.1, other than the memory leak fix. And on the testnet, we were running 0.10.2, or may still be running at this point, but Gurinder is in the process of updating that to block merge alpha 1 version, which is what we're calling version 0.11.0-alpha.1. And so this has the bulk of the block merge changes and blocks merge with this code. And then there are a couple of things that related to this that I'll talk to in just a minute. So this version, basically, in the I should say alpha 1 here, it works with synchrony constraint 0.99. And like we explained earlier, we were going to first tackle the 0.99 and then deal with the 0.67 synchrony constraint. And this, while it has most of the changes worked on so far, there are some things that we identified in terms of the requiring data hard fork. For example, the fact that we need to remove channels map to get the full performance on the block merge. So for that, we are going to have a separate testnet where we can test that. But let me just actually show you what the project looks like. All right, so this is I think everybody should be seeing my project or this project piece that Tomislav has put together. The block merge project is the main one that's being worked on here. So as you can see, many of these things are in progress. And then once we do as they go through the reviews, we're going to make more releases on the block merge. But you will see that the ones that are to do are these enhancements. Some of them are performance enhancements, and this one relates to removing the channels map, which requires a hard fork. So for that, the plan is to basically release whatever can be released onto the mainnet, taking it through the testnet, regular or current testnet process. And those things that need, the changes that need the hard data fork are going to be going on testnet 2, which is also something that Gurinder is in the process of creating. On testnet 2, once we get the version on testnet 2 with a feature branch that has this channels map removed, we will begin to create or measure the numbers in terms of block merge performance. So until then, we will not have any numbers. And it should not be too far away. So that's where we're going to begin to see the numbers. And then as we do the performance improvements, those numbers will change. And then on testnet 2, once the block merge tasks are complete, essentially we'll use that testnet 2 as the hard fork testnet, because the hard forks are the next set of deliverables that we have coming up. So that's what the testnet 2 will be used for, as well as we'll be using testnet 2 to start experimenting with decentralized nodes where some of the community members and the developers will be running nodes with local control of keys to interoperate with the testnet 2. So that's the whole plan with the testnet 2. So during that time, testnet, the regular testnet will continue to run, and Dapp developers and others should be able to use it as normal. But it's good to also test anything that you have done in the past or will be doing in future on testnet 2, because that's the one that's going to be eventually compatible with the hard forked mainnet. So that's kind of what the plan is with that. Now, when we say data format changes, we're mostly talking about data storage format changes. So hopefully there's not too much that's visible that you need to change. But again, we encourage you to test, because with these kinds of changes, it's always better to test once and twice and more. So that's the advice on there, is to say, whatever you're doing, whatever you have done, continue to test it both on testnet 2 and testnet, the current testnet. And certainly testnet 2 should ensure or help you with future compatibility. So that's where we are with that. And the testnet 2 will be used as the base for hard forks that will be coming in. One of the main things that we're going to lose whenever we do, or that we're going to remove, not lose, but remove, whenever we do the changes to the data formats or storage formats, is that we're going to start from fresh empty state. Only the rev balances will carry through. So this is something that you need to be planning for and be prepared for. So that's the plan with that. So are there any questions on either block merge or on testnet 2? Because those are the main updates I have for today. All right, I'm going to be putting up much of this information in Discord also, so that people are aware of where we are, what the plans are. So that's, I think that's all I have to say. If there are no questions, I'll hand it over to you, Greg.
Well, one quick question. You're talking about removing channels for optimization?
Channels map.
The channel map. There's a map from, yeah.
Okay, not, so we're not going to be able to basically cancel a listen or whatever by removing a channel.
No. We're not removing channels.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. The channels map, which is an optimization. We have to get rid of it.
All right.
Any other questions? Greg, did you say you had a question?
No, I think this is very exciting. I mean, we're making such amazing progress. And kudos to the dev team. It's really, it's a lot of hard work getting this done, and they are really remaining focused and keeping their eye on the prize. It's really quite exciting.
Yeah, and they're methodically and very diligently working through all of this. My thanks to them all.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So I want to remind everyone that the epic ends now, effectively. So people have a grace period, I think, from the 1st through the 7th. Is that what we said, Ian?
So the deadline for depositing new stake, that's for members only, of course, is April 7th.
April 7th. So non-members who are depositing stake, they need to understand that that's not how it's done. The co-op will endeavor to return your stake or consider it a donation. If you are a non-member and attempting to stake by depositing REV into the staking address, then we will do our best to return your REV and ask that you become a member and then go through that process, or we will consider it a donation. So just so people understand, the staking opportunity through the co-op is only for members. I hope that's clear. Okay, and then the board met yesterday, and we agreed the China team proposal. So that will be described in the minutes. You'll see that. So we're very excited about the development of the Chinese market and the engagement with the Chinese community. So very, very pleased with that. Nora, you had a reminder for us about Earth Day.
Oh, sure. Yeah, so basically we have until April 10th that's the deadline that we set to receive the selfie videos that anybody can make. So the question that you are answering when you make a video is, what would Earth say if she could speak? So basically, we're just gathering these responses. Anybody in the world can send them. So it could be your friends or colleagues, family, anybody who's interested in making a response. Just try to keep it to 20 seconds or less and email it to climate@rchain.coop. And we're basically creating a big compilation of these responses, and we'll be sharing them on Earth Day, which is, I believe it's a Thursday, April 22nd. Because we want to create awareness about all the different perspectives about what's happening with our climate. And I think it's important to invite that kind of community conversation within our community and beyond into the tech and blockchain and other communities. And because Earth Day is really important. So yeah, that's it.
Thank you very much. Any questions for Nora or myself about our Earth Day project? Okay, very good. Is Daryl around? Yes.
I am here.
Hey, Daryl, you want to give us the community in review?
Would love to.
Awesome, thanks.
Okay, so here's the community week in review for Thursday, March 25th to Wednesday, today, March 31st. It's hard to believe March is already over. Went by fast for me. On Thursday, at the Governance Committee, we continue to discuss the unresolved tokens issue. And also on Thursday at the Dapp Developer Working Group, they updated contributing instructions for Liquid Democracy Reorganize-Actions branch. On Friday at the Climate and Coordination Call, we spoke about Australian flooding, how to preserve arable land, Reddit investors using GameStop proceeds to fund wildlife rehabilitation. An article that pointed out that Facebook's biggest threat is Apple attempts to bring transparency to their deceptive data collection methods. And then we discussed Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey's Square investments in Tidal, and how Tidal is the music streaming application, and how it could be connected to Twitter's Blue Sky open source social media blockchain platform project. And at the end of that call, Greg gave an immortal statement, which was, and I quote, "Which do you think is more feasible from an engineering point of view? Building a payments network and then trying to expand it to a data network? Or build a data network and then as a side option, you can specialize it to a payments network?" So that was in the Climate Coordination Call. And you can access that at blog.rchain.coop. On Saturday in the RChat call, they worked on master contract directory for rgov. On Monday in the Casper Standup call, this week's Casper Standup covered the relationship between OSLF and ZK. On Tuesday in the RChain education call, they developed preliminary call for help Rolang action for WANA. And yesterday in the communications working group, Ian reported that he's been working on removing older out-of-date info on the site and elsewhere. And Ian and Steve Henley discussed seniorage and validators. Also on yesterday at the Dapp Developer Working Group, they worked on a bug happening with voting tally action and preparing for a demo in next week's debrief. And this morning in the RChain Active Member Hangout, it was just Jim, myself, and Steve Henley. And we discussed updating the blog article on MetaMask, because Jim's been getting a lot of questions and he just wants to improve it so that he doesn't have to field as many questions. And that brings us to now. And I would just like to do a shout out to unsung love warrior, Jim Whitescarver, who helps me with this document and just is an incredibly important figure at RChain for bringing members together. So just thank you, Jim. And that's all I have.
Thank you. You're very welcome.
Very good. Very good. Yes, thanks, Jim, for all of your engagement with the RChain community. It's invaluable. It's amazing. So very, very, I think I can speak for the whole community, and we really appreciate your efforts. Okay, so there are a lot of exciting developments, especially in the hardware acceleration stuff, but I can't talk about it here. So anyone interested in RChain's hardware acceleration efforts, please join us on Friday for the members Q&A. We should have some good news to chat about there. It'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to having that conversation with the members. I think, I mean, we still want to be very, very cautious, but I think we have some good news to share. All right, well, thank you so much, everyone. Please stay safe, and I'll see you on the other side.
Thanks, everybody.